I'm here with the 13th place finisher, Annabeth Barnes. I'm going to tell you what, whoa, look at you going around Langley Speedway today. Tell me about all this racing excitement you had tonight here at Hampton Heat 200 and finishing 13th.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with where we finished. We had a really long day. Started out at Motor Mile this morning, and they said let's load up and go to Langley after it rained out, and here we are 5 hours after that. We ended up here at Langley, and you know, I had limited practice, didn't qualify too good. We qualified 27th because we didn't really know how to go because we never raced here before. But you know, we came out 13th, and honestly, against these guys, these are some of the best in the country, and I think that's pretty good. You know, we raced our butts off, and the guys gave me a really good car. All the guys at Rev worked their butt off at Motor Mile, then came here and worked their butt off at Langley, so I'm pretty happy.
I guess you are running 13th against some of these guys in a racetrack you never raced before. Tell me, a lap around Langley Speedway compared to Motor Mile, how the impact on it? I mean, you guys just limited practice. I mean, you just barely got here in time for the race. What's the difference between these two tracks?
You know, Motor Mile's a pretty big track with a lot of banking, and you know, we were there all day yesterday just testing, getting the car perfect, and we got it pretty good. And coming to Langley is really flat, a lot smaller, and completely night and day different from where we were at all day yesterday. And
so the Motor Mile car is the same car you race here today at Langley?
Oh yeah, same springs and everything on it. We didn't have any springs. We had all the springs for Motor Mile. We didn't bring any to come to Langley because we didn't know we were going to be here. So we didn't really get to tweak on the setup too much. So we just kind of had what we had. And before I went out for the race, they're like, "All right, well, this is it. So if it's not good, what are we going to do?"
Yeah.
And it was pretty good, so I was really happy.
No doubt about it. Annabeth Barnes with a 13th place finish here at Langley Speedway. Hey, with me here is tonight's second place finisher in the 2013 Hampton Heat here at Langley Speedway, Faulk. Faulk, man, started 17th tonight. Definitely not your best performance, but man, that 40 car could get on the racetrack and get it going, man. Tell me about this second place finish.
A lot of luck. You know, we used the cone to our advantage for sure and picked up most of our spots that way and got to about 7th just using the cone, you know, picking up about 2 or 3 at a time, missing the wrecks, and then you know, we had a decent car, nothing for maybe up front, but right before the break I thought we were going to be pretty good, and then we just over adjusted on it, trying to get it freed up and just too loose, you know, the whole second half of the race. So you know, to come home second, it's great. You know, I felt like I had a 5th place car at best, and you know, there's definitely some work to be done, but coming out of the Hampton Heat with as bad starting spot as we did and come home second, it's pretty good.
You're doggone right it is, man. Tell me, this race, everything was labeled to be just get out there and ride for the first 150 laps, and from the drop of the green flag, I mean, it was all nuts from there, man. What do you think was all about that?
I don't know, it was just rough, R-U-F-F, rough, man. It was just pretty mean out there, just people using each other up, and you know, I had to actually talk to my spotter, said, look, these guys ain't giving us nothing, we gotta be able to take something. So I don't know why it was, but it just seems like the tires, you sit there and abuse them, and you know, we ran 200 laps on the same 4 tires, and I don't think had any tire problems tonight. So you know, it's a little bit slower of a tire, but it made for some great racing.
Yeah, sure did, man. Faulk with a 2nd place finish here tonight at Langley Speedway's Hampton Heat in 2013. Right here with me now is tonight's winner of the Hampton Heat 200 here in 2013 at Langley Speedway, Peyton Sellers. Peyton Sellers, man, what a night. What a night of racing for you, and just the decision to come here was a whole thing for itself, man. But tell me first about this race tonight, and what got you in the victory lane?
Just all in God's hands. You know, it all worked out like it was supposed to. And man, I was just excited to be here. And we made a decision Thursday night at about 8 o'clock to switch a car over. It was almost loaded, ready to go to Motor Mile. We said, well, it's looking like rain up there. Let's go race for 10 grand. So everybody, Bill Mullis and everybody at this track has just been nothing but A1 to us and treated us like family. They really have. So to come here and run with Nick and Waltz and all those guys, I mean, they're like so good here week after week. They're always battling for the win, and to come here and just be amongst those names and have a green-white checker with Faulk starting on the outside and be able to come out with a checkered flag was unbelievable. So really good car tonight. HC worked hard, and we changed springs 4 or 5 times throughout practice there, rear springs, and he said, man, we got to make a decision. What do you think's going to race better? And we went with what our gut told us, and it all worked out.
Yes, it did. At $10,000 it worked out for you, that's for sure. That last restart, you knew it was going to be big. You knew you had to hit your marks, and you had to get away right then. What was going through Sellers' head? I mean, did you revert back to all the experience in racing? Because I mean, you're at a track you just don't race at, Peyton. So tell me about that restart.
Early on, I felt like I could have jumped out and led a little bit, but I chose not to. I told HC, I said, look, let's settle in right here. I rode fourth for a while, and I watched those guys and just kind of seeing what they were doing through the middle of the corner and how they let their car, you know, float in and get across the center really good and then get a good drive off. And I really learned a lot from just watching those guys. We had 200 laps, but we didn't have a lot of green flag racing tonight.
Right.
You know, a lot of cautions, and just try to soak in what I could from the guys that race here every week, because they'll teach you what you need to know. You just got to be able to run with them. And I knew at the halfway break we moved our rear end. We done a few things to it to get everything snugged up a little bit, because the tires were getting freer and freer as the race went on. But man, I don't know. I just kind of took it easy and saved a little something. And there, the last 50 or 60 laps was flat out. And Nick was really, really good on a long run, but we were really good on a short run. Right. So you know, that's just the way it shook out. And just like I said, it was all in God's hands tonight.
And there you were in victory lane. Peyton Sellers here, tonight's winner of the Hampton Heat 200.